on one hand, like you root for Chris Hansen. We've spoken to Chris Hansen on the show before a number of years ago.
Just had him on 2 weeks ago. I love him.
Good
He's
interview.
A madman.
I'm sure you're aware. Maybe the audience is, but like he started up Hansen versus Predator, his own thing he's producing, and it feels meaner to me than the old show, and that's a good thing.
Oh, wow.
It feels meaner. Like, for one thing, they get these decoys that are great. And they get like a 19-year-old like
they
drama
get these decoys
student.
that are so hot.
They do. They do.
That's
the
so
decoy
wrong.
is like 19. All right, but she's like 5'2", 19, and like really cute. And she like pops on a ball cap and acts really precocious and like
got laundry to finish. Come on in,
dude. In the old show, they had a decoy that she couldn't pass for 30, and she'd be like, "Yeah, come on in. I gotta pull my tampon out," and like run away and just disappear. Like you would never.
I was just playing with my Barbie. I'll be right out.
Like I'd run for the hills if someone said, "Yeah, come on in. I gotta run." And sprinted back into the house. No, on his new show, she's like, she shook one guy down. She was like, "Hey, I'm really scared because you talked a lot about guns in our chat. Could you pull your hoodie up and turn around?" And he did that shit. And then she was like, "Okay, come on in. Sorry, I'm just really nervous."
Wow.
And then she kept like an island in the kitchen between her and him.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah,
and they play like keep away.
She interviews him for like a solid 3 minutes or something before they introduce Chris into the equation.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's really good to see them eat awkward pizza together, but she won't eat it because it might be poison.
Of course. we did a bit. I was doing the show from my house when I started Compound Media in 2014. I was doing the show from my house for a year until I got the New York City studio, and I've been there 7 years now. So Chris Hansen was coming over my house to do an interview, and we decided to play out. It's online somewhere if you can find it. We played out me coming over my house, and then Chris Hansen comes out and catches me talking to a girl. It looked so real that I'm like, I think I'm gonna be fucked here. Like people are gonna look at this and go,
you gotta be careful.
You just tweak that a little.
Caught, doing the fucking.
Because you know what they could do? They could take some of like Chris Hansen's voiceover from all the other episodes and just pipe that in.
Yeah.
And
we did that to Chris once also. We took audio of him reading the transcripts. Yeah. So you said, "I want to lick you and I want to sleep with you. And we took those things, and I was like, I go, Mr. Hansen, did you say this? I want to sleep with you. I want to kiss you. I want to be your first." And Chris is just laughing his balls off because, and we had, of course, the brownies and the iced tea on the table and shit. So fucking funny, man.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Oh, you found some? Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Me with Chris Hansen.
Wow.
I brought vodka.
condoms.
I brought some Zima. They always make the word shit.
I can't look. I've been questioned before by the fucking authorities and in handcuffs a time or two myself. I've been in courthouses in front of federal judges, but I can't imagine how scary it would be for him to say, "Do you have condoms?" knowing that you do. Do you have condoms? And then he follows that up quickly with, "We'll find out either way."
Yeah, we'll find out.
And he's so confident, like I'm sure there's been times where he was afraid, which is like one of the things I asked him lately. It's dicey times, but like he never shows it. He's always like big dicking it for sure. And he's got that notebook that looks like a cop's like sort of like folder.
When he first started doing it, before people really knew what he looked like, they assumed he was a cop.
Always,
he never said he was, but he never said he wasn't. And it worked because he'd go, "Why don't you take a seat?" No, take a seat over there. And the people are like, "All right, I'll take a fucking seat."
Yeah.
And the first season they let him go. They were all over television, so I'm sure their life was ruined. But then it turned out where they worked with the cops, and they were all waiting outside. It's like, okay, well, you're free to leave. And
They
then the
let
guy
them
be
go?
like, "Oh, cool, I'm really."
First season they did.
Wham!
Season
They
2, the cops come in.
They go. It's hilarious. So yeah, they know now.
One of the
crazy.
his new setup is so much slicker.
Wow, really?
The cops are in the fucking. First of all, they're everywhere. But like the main cops that are going to take him into custody are in the garage with a cop car in the garage. So they walk out into the garage. 5 cops there.
They just throw him in the car. That's it.
Garage door goes up. Cop car takes that one to prison. New cop car shows up, pulls in. Garage door goes down, and the trap is reset.
Business is good.
So this is a weird question, but what do they get charged with?
I'm glad you asked it. That was my next thing. Like it's usually like intent
solicitation
to do something
of
awful to a minor,
sex
roughly.
with a minor. Yeah.
It, like sending the messages are crimes in their own right. And I didn't know how much time you got. I always thought of like just the humiliation is the problem, right? Like because nobody will fuck with you ever again.
Yeah.
Like you're a monster. But like I never thought that it was like crazy time for just showing up there. Maybe they're getting like 7-8 years.
No,
really?
Maybe.
Yes.
Did you bring condoms? You're going to need them where you're going.
Yeah.
By the way, you won't be wearing them.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they don't get treated nicely.
There was a lot of guys that knew what was happening. They're like, uh-oh, I know I'm fucked. There was one rabbi, he's famous, one of the more famous episodes, and he goes, well, you're free to go. He goes, I can't. I know this cops. He starts crying. They get him out there, and the cops just tackle him.
Stay?
Like there's nothing the guy could have done.
Chris has no mercy.
You can literally walk out the door and go, I know the cops are here. You don't need to do anything. I'm going to wham! You get bowled over.
I would just go upstairs, pull the covers over me. I'm not going.
One of my favorite takedowns. The best takedown of all time, though. The guy starts running. And out of nowhere, there was a cop in a fucking ghillie suit laying flat in the lawn. And he pops up and grabs the guy.
Sniped his head right the fuck up. That would have been awesome.
You know, they had that instance where they bust. I don't think this one made it to TV because they busted that guy who was like some kind of small town politician or something. And then the guy offed himself.
Yeah, that caused the problem.
Yeah.
That's probably
isn't that where it ended it?
Yeah, it ended
that and
NBC.
Another thing that I probably isn't even nice to talk about. That's not that bad. You know, Chris had that affair. That was the other thing.
Yeah, that was another thing. And then there was the check thing, the bad check thing to buy merch for the company. There was all kinds of shit.
Hey, you want to see some of the fucking? This is Exhibit A.
Holy shit, there it is.
Exhibit A. Chris wrote a bad check for these and then sent one to me. This is fucking evidence and an interstate fraud case.
Possession by a felon, too, right now. You could probably be back in the joint.
No, they took care of all this.
One of the proudest moments of my career is when an Opie and Anthony fan got caught on Chris Hansen's show.
Oh,
and it was it was no, he's sitting there and he's talking. He goes, do you know who I am? And the guy goes, he's got like this weird lisp like this, and he goes, yeah, I've seen you before. You're real funny on the Opie and Anthony show. And I'm like, wow. I'm watching, I'm just like, all right, this is great. There's our fan base. I'm sure the advertisers are gonna love that. That's our fan base. Yeah. I was like, great. But yeah, I've laughed with Chris about that one. Yeah, your fan base. Met one of your fans the other day.
You know what? Like one doesn't really mean anything. One could be an aberration. If there's ever a second.
Oh yeah. That is true. Look, it just shows like, hey, we got fans.
That's a big reach. That's how you pitch it.
But if there's two, right?
Chris Hansen only busted 37 pedophiles last year, and 2 of them knew our brand.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's reach.
I hear if there's one of something, I've always heard this. If there's one of something, it doesn't necessarily mean there's 2. If there's 2 of something, there are probably more. which is kind of an interesting take on things. So 1 doesn't mean anything. 2 means there's probably 1,000.
Yeah.